So now that we have the logic to know if a zombie is within bounds, so we can, do our percentage chance of spawning, the power up, we want to start working on the logic, or not the logic, but the actual power up. So we need to make a module that contains a base power up actor and a world subsystem that the actor can, register and unregister itself with. Likewise, the actor is going to have to go through and construct itself, that kind of stuff. So I'm planning on, realistically, because there's things that are already going to be more or less loaded, I'm not 100% sure how exactly I want to handle it. Part of me wants to do just hard references, given that, the nature of it, they're just very short audio files as well as, what do you call it? Simple meshes with no real textures. It's just a procedure material that we can also just, make it a hard reference and just have a base class and then, subclass it as needed in, say, Blueprint. Uh, Again, I'm not 100% sure. All I know is I'll make the decision after I make the base class and everything. But to begin, we want to go ahead and let's actually close out of the editor and go to our zombies. Actually, not our zombies module. Let's go to our zombies folder and make a new Unreal module. And we're going to call this one the Powerups module. Now we need to think of what all this really needs to have as a dependency. I don't think it's really going to have much, if anything. So let's go to the build.cs, remove slate. We are going to need replication, so I want to use the push model. We're probably going to need gameplay tags for the nuke because we're going to have to iterate over the pawns, and I want a generic way to tell, okay, which type of pawn is it? Is it a player or is it a zombie? If it's a zombie, then we can kill it and all that stuff. And we're going to be fetching that from the ability system. So let's also include gameplay abilities. And I think those are it. So that's just to kind of take care of any sort of push model replication we're going to be doing, as well as the tag stuff with the nuke. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and close that. And I guess first off, let's go ahead and make a new actor. So make a new actor. Not really sure where to put it. I guess we can do this inside of just a folder called Powerups, because we're only going to have, I think, we're going to have two classes, but we're going to also have a couple subclasses of the main base Powerup class, so we're going to have a few. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. All right, so in this case, let's see, what do we want to call it? We can do something like, I guess, just simply Powerup. I don't really think there needs to be a better name. So let's add that. And by default, same thing, remove all the comments and remove tick. Now in here, we want to also override the end play, so that way it can it can unregister itself with the subsystem when we make it. So this is kind of our base class that's going to handle that. Let's go to the CPP. Again, remove the comments. Set B can never tick to false, because we only want it to be true on the ones that need it. Then we want to set B replicates to equal true. And just while we're at it, let's go ahead and actually, no, we're not going to be replicating anything in here that I can think of. So let's go ahead and create the definition for end play. And I think that's about it that we have to do here. So next up, I want to go ahead and make the subsystem. So let's add a new Unreal class, and we're going to do a world subsystem. So let's try to find it. There's the tickable one. Okay. Did I overlook it? Okay, maybe it's called something else. Let me check. Okay, yeah, it's literally U world subsystem, but for whatever reason on my end, it just does not come up. So what we're going to do is just inherit from the U tickable world subsystem for now and change the parent once it's created. So for the class name, let's call this one the Powerups, Powerup Manager Subsystem, or World Subsystem. I don't know if I want to call it a manager. Let's just call it a Powerup World Subsystem, because it's not really managing anything with the power-ups. So let's go ahead and replace it to be a U world subsystem. All right, it inherited from the right one, so that's good. And let's see. So we want for starters, a void register power-up. Make it take in the power-up. And for declare, a power-up. Likewise, let's go ahead and have a unregister power-up as well. And create the definitions. Now let's go ahead and include power-ups, powerup.h, and start with making a protected section that contains the information. So we want basically an array of active power-ups. So in our case, we want a view property. It's going to be a T array of T object pointer, a power-up. And this will be, I guess we can call it, just simply power-ups. So this will be an array of active power-ups, including ones that have not been claimed. So with our power-ups array, let's go ahead and go to register power-up, and we want to just simply go ahead and add power-up. Likewise, in the case of this, we want to go powerups.remove power-up, and that's going to pretty much manage adding and removing. Now I want to add a getter. So let's do a power-up. So get, let's do actually a bool. Let's do does power-up exist? Not what I wanted to make it do. Let's create the definition. And in our case, we want to return powerups.contains powerup. So as you can see by the comment, we'll return true if found, false if otherwise. So actually in this one, we can make this a constant because we're not doing anything with any information. And let's compile just to make sure we can actually build. Okay, once that's done, let's go back to our power-up and register/unregister it. So we want to do this on both client and server for both the registering and unregistering. So we want to go ahead and get world and get subsystem of the type U powerup world subsystem. So let's go ahead and include it up here. And in our case, we want to simply register powerup, passing in this. So let's copy that and paste it in endplay and simply call unregister powerup instead. That way it'll handle the registering and unregistering as needed. Now I also made a little note for the powerup actor that we should make it always relevant. I'm not 100% sure if this is necessary, but my idea here being I don't know if, let's say you have, a map that's 100 kilometers. If you have an actor that spawns on the other side of it away from you, if it's not relevant, does that actor still exist on your machine, or is it just not created at all? So this is just kind of to assure me. I haven't looked it up to see, but given that there are going to be so few power-ups, making it always relevant, it's not a big deal at all. So be always relevant equals true. Okay. So now that we have that, we are going to need some basic components. So in our case, they're all going to be static meshes. So let's go ahead and make a protected section. And we'll make a U property. Let's do a visible anywhere. Don't care about the rest of this. And for the category, let's do powerup. So T object pointer of a U static mesh component. And this will be the powerup mesh. So this here will be create default subobject of U static mesh component, powerup mesh, and we want to set the root component to equal the powerup mesh. So let's go ahead while we're at it, include components. static mesh component.h because we're using it. So now that we have that, we are pretty much at least at us, I guess you could say pretty close to a stopping point, but we have the logic to where we can start going about potentially spawning what we need. So we're likely going to end up making a data asset that will kind of house what to spawn and all that other stuff. I'm not 100% sure exactly how I want to do it, but basically in the game mode, I want to have an array of power-ups that can be spawned. So with that, actually, I want to add a comment here because this needs to be replaced with a U class, because the only time I can think of that we're going to check if one exists is going to be before we go about spawning it. So we need to check and see, okay, does this class exist? So the idea is when we go through and let's pretend it's true, so we do spawn something, we have an array of data assets, and those are going to be used to define the power up. So this is where I'm a little bit torn. So I've been kind of going back and forth for a little bit, because we can either subclass this power up like I've been talking about and adding the additional logic in it that is necessary for handling everything else. Like for example, say we could subclass this one to have a max ammo. That max ammo would go through and what do you call it? Would simply run the logic to give everyone max ammo. Then we would also have another one for, say, insta-kill, which would, start a timer that goes through, periodically takes and handles the countdown, all that kind of stuff. So those are the kind of the two, we would have one for every single type. The other thing that I'm kind of thinking of is instead of doing that, we have this, base class here for the power up. And then we have kind of like this scripting system. And when I say scripting system, I'm talking about some simple U objects that we can write in Blueprint or C++ that get created when the power up itself gets created. And in it is going to be, some logic that may or may not be needed. So for example, we would have this power up base class. It has exactly this. When it's after we register, we're going to go ahead and, for example, create the U object. And then on end play, we're going to destroy the U object. So in the U object, we're going to have kind of like basically its own begin play that is going to run, whatever logic it needs. You can check if it has authority, if it's a server and whatnot, all that kind of stuff, and kind of go from there. So I need to do a little bit of thinking and some tinkering to see, which approach do I want to use, because in C++, it ultimately doesn't matter, but in terms of handling it through the data, it would be probably a little bit nicer to have, you just select what mesh you want to use, for example, and then, which script you want to run with it. Whereas alternatively, we could, have the same kind of thing of, okay, what mesh do we want to use and what class do we want to use? That would be the actor approach. So we'll just have to see. But anyways, with that out of the way, I will see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also get early access to this entire series.